Hello, friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to share with you a powerful story, one that carries a timeless message about the beauty and transformative power of silence. In a world that never stops talking, what if the answer you were seeking lies in saying nothing? Let's travel back in time to a distant land in ancient India, where this story begins. In a lush white forest nestled at the foot of secret mountains stood a humble Buddhist monastery. The air was crisp, the birds sang softly, and the rhythm of life followed the pulse of nature. This monastery was home to a revered monk, known not just for his wisdom but for the deep, powerful silence that surrounded him like an aura. He didn't speak often, but when he did, his words moved hearts. Far away in a grand palace surrounded by opulence and gold lived a king who had everything a man could desire: wealth, fame, power, luxuries. Yet something was missing. The king was restless. He barely slept. He snapped at his ministers, and even music, wine, and celebration brought him no joy. His mind was like a storm, loud, chaotic, and unrelenting. One day, in desperation, he decided to seek out the silent monk in the distant forest. Maybe, just maybe, the man of few words held the answer to his inner turmoil. The king's entourage halted at the monastery gates, but he left them behind and entered alone. Inside, the monk was seated beneath a bodhi tree, eyes half closed, radiating peace. Respected master, the king began, I have all that one could want, but inside I feel empty. My thoughts are loud. My heart is heavy. No matter what I gain, there is no peace. Can you help me? The monk opened his eyes slowly and started the king. Then, with a soft smile, he spoke. You already hold the answer. You have just never sat quietly enough to hear it. The king frowned. I don't understand. The monk nodded. Then let's conduct an experiment. Stay here for 15 days. Live as I do. Speak as little as possible. Spend your time in silence and solitude. I will guide you only when truly necessary. Desperate, the king agreed. On the first day, silence felt like a punishment. The king's thoughts screamed louder in the quiet. Every bird chirp, Every crack of bamboo became a distraction. He felt like a prisoner in his own mind. He wanted to talk, to shout, to ask questions, but he remembered the monk's words and stayed silent. By sunset, something subtle began to change. His breath slowed, his shoulders relaxed. Calmness, though brief, visited him. On the second day, the king noticed the rustling of leaves not just as sound but as music. He watched an ant carry a crumb and found it oddly beautiful. Flowers seemed more vivid, time slowed. He wasn't checking for the next time, he was present, truly present. He sat in silence on a stone bench and wept, not out of sadness, but from a sense of awakening. As the days passed, something shifted. The silence, once unbearable, became his friend. He began meditating beside the monk, following his breath, watching thoughts like clouds drifts across the sky of his mind. He stopped judging his thoughts. He stopped chasing them too. He realized he had spent his life reacting to praise, to criticism, to fear, to desire, always reacting. Now he was simply being. By the 12th day, he entered a deep meditation that lasted for hours. Time disappeared. When he opened his eyes, he felt light, not just emotionally, but as if his very being had shed layers of burden. For the first time, he truly understood peace, not as an idea, but as a living experience. On the 15th day, the king sat before the monk. With a peaceful smile, he said, I have discovered why I was always troubled. I talked too much, thought too much, judged too quickly. I wasted my energy in constant chatter and comparison. Silence has changed me. The monk listened quietly and then shared. Most people speak endlessly, thinking it connects them to others, but often it disconnects them from themselves. Silence isn't empty, it's full of answers. Then he quoted Gautam Buddha. I remained silent to understand myself. Silence is the path to self-awareness. Without it, there is no understanding. He added, when we speak from silence, our words are powerful. They don't fill space, they create meaning. The king returned to his palace, but he was not the same man. He spent 1 hour each day in silence, reflecting, meditating. He listened more and spoke only when words mattered. His court noticed a change. he was calmer, wiser, and more present. And slowly, peace spread not just thoughts, his mind, but across his kingdom. True peace does not come from wealth, power, or achievements. It comes from stillness within. In a world obsessed with noise, dare to be silent. Because when you connect with your inner self, the noise of the world no longer controls you. So, dear friends, take time each day to be alone. Sit in stillness. Listen not to the world but to your soul. And remember, sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. Thank you so much for watching this story. If it moved you or made you think, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories and life lessons. Until next time, stay peaceful, stay silent, and stay inspired. Thank you.